Einsam wandert dein Freund im Frühlingsgarten, mild vom Lieblich.
This Sunday afternoon, March 29th at 3 p.m., Parlance Chamber Concerts will present the Met's leading lyric tenor Matthew Polenzani and the esteemed collaborative pianist Ken Noda in a far-ranging recital of art songs by composers from Beethoven to Barber. The concert will begin with one of Beethoven's most popular songs, Adelaide. The text expresses the poet's hopeless infatuation with an unattainable woman, sentiments that must have been sadly resonant with the young Beethoven, whose personal life had already centered on idealized but ultimately unattainable love. Following Adelaide, we will hear a set of rarely performed vocal gems by Franz Liszt. Although Liszt was renowned for his skills as a virtuoso pianist, he was also a highly prolific composer of music for the voice, writing over 80 art songs to German, French, Italian, Hungarian, and English poems. An avid tone painter, Liszt evoked a strong sense of mood and extra-musical imagery in his songs. In fact, they often seem to anticipate the shimmering musical world of the early 20th century French Impressionists. A good example of this can be heard at the beginning of the first song in the set, How Beautifully the Lark Sings. Here the music perfectly depicts a radiant dawn as flowers sparkle in the morning dew and a lark takes wing overhead. After intermission, we will hear Maurice Ravel's 5 popular Greek melodies. The son of a Swiss father and a Basque mother, Ravel was always artistically fascinated by the possibilities of musical exoticism. In 1904, he was inspired by his close friend, the French-Greek critic and writer Michel Dimitri Calvo-Corresi, who invited him to set 5 Greek folk songs for a lecture demonstration on Greek and Armenian folklore. Although the melodies and texts are drawn directly from Greek folk music, Ravel transformed them into exquisite examples of his own musical art, illuminating them with delicate, sensitively wrought accompaniments and evocatively modal harmonies. One of the most poignant and haunting of the set is the second song entitled There by the Church, as the poem gently reflects on the heroes buried in the church graveyard. We hear the far-off chiming of the chapel bells. Next, in a change of pace, we will hear a brief set of whimsically humorous songs by the iconoclastic French composer Erik Satie. Each of these short songs evokes memories of childhood games and nonsense poetry. The third of the set, The Hatmaker, is based on Lewis Carroll's Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Here we hear the Hatter realizing to his consternation that his watch is running 3 days slow. The final set on Sunday afternoon's program is one of the greatest song cycles of the 20th century, Samuel Barber's deeply moving Hermit songs. In the early 1950s, Barber visited Ireland, the home of his ancestors. Inspired by his experiences, he turned his attentions to poetry he had discovered by Irish monks. The short poems have been inscribed in the margins and corners of the Irish and Latin manuscripts that they illuminated or copied during the 8th through the 13th centuries. Barber selected 10 of his favorites and created a cohesive yet wonderfully varied ensemble that runs the gamut of moods and styles. As with Ravel's earlier evocation of church bells tolling over an ancient Greek cemetery, the first of the Hermit songs starts with the chiming chapel bells of the medieval church on Station Island, which housed the penitential cells where medieval Irish monks often went for their pilgrimages.
Pity me on my pilgrimage to Ludwig, O King of the churches and the bells, bewailing your sores and your wounds, but not a tear.
While some of the Hermit songs record ecstatic visions of intense religious piety, others are short, mischievous, and surprisingly worldly. A favorite of the set, The Monk and His Cat, was inspired by an 8-line poem inscribed into a manuscript called the Reichenau Primer. This short poem is about the friendship between a scholarly hermit and his pet cat, Pangur. The intimate charm of the poem has inspired entire books and even a 2009 animated movie called The Secret of Kells. Here is a bit of Barber's cozily good-natured setting, which conjures an image of a moment of warmly contented human-feline friendship.
Anger, white anger, how happy we are, alone together, scholar and cat.
Sunday afternoon's performance will take place in the acoustically superb sanctuary of West Side Presbyterian Church in Ridgewood, New Jersey. For full program and ticket information, please call 800-838-3006 or visit parlancechamberconcerts.org.